Welcome back to the show here, and joining me, Rusty Disinger. Russ, Uncle Rusty, Russell, thank you for taking time and flying into Tulsa, Oklahoma to be on the show.
Yeah, thank you. It's I always watch it, and I always talk to you about it, so it's great to be on here.
So, Russ, you come to us out of, Francisville, Indiana.
Yep.
You come race with us down here in our area a few times a year. You make a trip down to Tulsa Shootout, Turnpike Challenge, stay for the Spring Fling here. What's the racing like here versus back home at your home tracks? US 24 is your home track, right?
Yep.
So what's like the biggest change from home to Port City?
Definitely the car count. If we get 80 to 100 cars, that's a lot of cars for us on a weekly basis. There's 3 tracks that run weekly on a Saturday that are in half an hour driving distance, so it splits the car count out a lot. So just like making the shows here is a lot harder because you guys have good competition and then the large car count. So just making the show is, a good thing. And then if you get to run in the front, you're running against guys who have won drillers and won the shootout and won the hustle and Sprague and all that. So just running out here, it kind of gives me a leg up when I go home at the beginning of the year because we're not racing yet. So
right.
I come out here and get some extra laps, get some good setups on the car, and learn some stuff before the race season starts home.
How long have you been racing?
I didn't start like a lot of people did. I was more into sports when I was younger, so I didn't start till I was like 14. So I got about 12, 13 years in racing. I started in restrictor, so and then I moved up to outlaw and non-wing because we didn't have anything else. We went from restrictor straight into the open classes.
So whenever you very first started and you're going to school and everything else, and were you like puffing up your chest like, hey guys, I got a race car. You want to see a picture of my race car?
No.
Or were you like one of those guys that's like, I'm not going to tell anybody?
No, I just kind of, I played sports and race. So like during the summer, I would play baseball. So as soon as the baseball games were over, everybody else would ride home back to the school with the teams, and I would leave with my parents or drive to the racetrack, and we'd go straight there, and I'd just start racing. So it kept me really busy when I was younger, and I think that was good for me.
When was it that you were like, man, you know what, I'm done with sports. I want to focus more on racing?
Probably when I was going to go to college, I could have went and tried out for a couple of the college baseball teams that I was smaller colleges, but they had the machining programs that I wanted and the graphics, so I was going to go do that, and I just decided if you do that, you need to like focus on that sport, and I'd rather just focus on the racing and get as good as I can at that because I knew I could do it for a long time.
Right. So you just made mention of graphics and machining, and that's kind of what you've built a career on is machining and doing some graphics here and there. You kind of dabble in a lot of different things.
Yeah, I enjoyed doing the graphics. I started out doing the graphics, and it got to the point where I was getting so busy, it kind of burnt me out on it. So I switched over to the machining. I was always fascinated with it, and that's what I went to college for, was machining. My dad has a truck parts business, and he does more big machine work, so I didn't really want to do that, but I liked, going and getting the parts for the cars, and they're fully machined, and learning how that whole process worked was always really intriguing to me.
And so over the course of a few years, you form a company and a brand, Dissinger Race Products, and now you're doing, wow, I mean, I see every day you're finding ways to be innovative and try and better the quality of products that are out there. I've seen your pedal assemblies, you name it. I mean, you have it. You have all kinds of stuff out there now, your arms and everything else. What has that been like for you, being able to see your parts go out and perform just like the top of the line of, your Joes or your Driven Performance or your Sawyer stuff? Your stuff is right there with theirs, maybe even a little bit, the attention to detail of yours is maybe a notch up.
I like taking my stuff. I always tell everybody, like, I have one machine. I'm the only one that runs them, so I take a lot of more time and care than probably a bigger company does, because they just have somebody that's just running the machine for them, making the parts, and I'm inspecting everything and making sure all the quality is up to what my standard is. I hold a very high standard to my parts, and being able to put them on like Frank's car, or seeing them run on even some of the cars that were winning drillers is just, it's really neat to see that that's where it goes. I get to ship some stuff like to New Zealand, Australia, and that's always cool to like realize that my stuff's going that far away and going on cars over there.
Now, you mentioned your stuff on Frank's car. That's Frank Flood. If you haven't heard of him, Google Frank Flood, and you'll see a couple of. He's won a couple of races in the last 3 years, 4 years. I think he's about 4 wins over the past 5 years. But at any rate, Frank is one of those guys that's really, he's a nerd. I think he's like a nerd in hiding.
Yeah.
And he gets fascinated with like the little things.
Yeah, I can make a part that is very intricate and very difficult to machine, and he's not as enthused about it as something that I just trick out just a little bit. I change something just a small bit, I make it a little bit lighter, or do something that's a little different than everybody else has got, and he just loses it over that, because he'll tell me like, well, I want it to be like this. I think this would be better, and I'll do that, and he seems to like it a lot, and then he sells it to a lot of people.
So over the past 2 to 3 years, you and Frank have become pretty good friends. I mean, you guys are talking on the phone with each other more than you talk to your wives.
Yeah, it gets us in trouble sometimes.
Yeah, he even slipped up and said "I love you" once, if I remember right. Right?
Yeah.
Which oh man, I'm gonna have to bleep that out. I shouldn't have said that. I'm so glad I said that. But just talk about the relationship that Frank, being one of the winningest micro drivers, to be able to talk to him about like the what was it, the left front arm.
Yep.
The different arms that you tried and you machined out, and you sent a couple, and then you made some changes and you did some different things, and now it's like a full production deal where everybody's like, that's the arm. Like that allows, that's a big difference. It's a game changer for a lot of non-wing guys for sure.
Yeah. Just working with Frank, I started out, I started traveling a little bit more, and I kind of, started to learn who he was. And we were out racing in Wisconsin, and my mom, it was my birthday weekend, and she was trying to get everybody to eat the birthday cake, and she was chasing him down to try to get him to get some of it, and she finally, got him, and then we started talking, and then over the years we just slowly started getting a better friendship, and it's fun, getting to work with him and coming out, and I get to stay with him and Ashley, and then I work with them in the shop and get to see everybody out here, and so it's always just great coming out here, and it's like I have another home here when I come out and hang out with them.
So it's not only like another friendship of yours that I want to bring up too. So you have Frank Flood is a good friend, but I want to say an even better friend is Adam Barth. That dude is another guy that's just like outside the box, knows his stuff. And I'm just going to go ahead and say it, like, as far as racing world, I miss him being a part of the racing world. But he watched our broadcast and, let us know that, he was watching and checking it all out. But what's it like to have a guy back home that's right there in the wheelhouse of you and Frank? And, like, whenever I see you three together, it's like, oh, Lord, wonder what they're coming up with now.
Yeah, and that's it's pretty great because I have two of the best people in the micro and racing business helping me, teaching me, telling me things. Well, I think we should do this, and we'll get better. And it's just like this weekend, I wasn't really happy with how the car performed last week. I was fast, but I just wasn't quick enough. And so Adam and I got on the phone and we talked all week. We were just trying to brainstorm, and so we came to practice on Thursday, and I went out the first time and I really liked the car. And then I came in, and Frank's like, well, let's do this. We changed something a little bit, and it was just a minor adjustment, and we went out, and I think I had Frank a little worried on Thursday. So that's good when I get him worried a little bit that I found something, and so now I feel like I had something for him.
So tell me this: the track here at Port City versus back home, does it have some similarities? I haven't been there before, so I want to say it's a little bit flatter.
Yeah, it's a little bit flatter. It doesn't have as much banking, and it's more. I would say the straightaways are definitely longer. I run maybe a two tooth or two teeth off the back, but you guys it's definitely faster here. It's definitely more fast paced. You can definitely tell when you come out here why the guys that run out here and the gals that run out here, why they're so good. Between the competition and just how fast paced everything is, you have to be on your toes at all times, ready to make a move or diamond under somebody when they throw you a slider, and it's just a whole different element of racing out here versus home.
So that's your life. You have built a name for yourself inside of racing, producing the parts and making things happen and being there for not only friends but your customers. You have a very large following now, a pretty big clientele, and coming from a small little one-man show, that's something to be proud of. But you've also got support outside of racing. We couldn't have this show and not talk about the family that's behind you. Your mom and dad, solid rock stars. It's always good to see your dad whenever he makes the trip down to the shootout and everything else. And then, you get some of the best cookies in the world.
Yeah, my wife started, she was doing cookies kind of when the COVID started hitting, and she really found that's her passion that she really liked doing. And I was really worried at the beginning because they were very good, and I was worried I was going to gain way too much weight from my suit. But now she's doing orders. That's why she didn't come out with me these 2 weeks. Easter's coming up, so she was done filling orders. She got them all done this week, and so she could take a little break. So she watched the races last night and, got everything packaged up and shipped out.
And so Sydney, which is his wife, she doesn't. It's not just local stuff. She'll ship cookies, right?
Yep.
So we got to plug the business. What's the name of her business again?
Small Town Bakes.
Small Town Bakes. She's on Facebook
And Instagram. Yep.
and Instagram. Some of the stuff that she makes, it's almost too cute to eat. It's like, oh my gosh, it's so cute.
Yeah, I go up and I'll try to grab something, and she'll say, "No, you can't have that. It's for customers." So, I get a lot of if she doesn't quite like how it is, and she's kind of about the cookies how I am. If it's not perfect, she's not going to give it to somebody. So she tries really hard. She's put a lot of effort into it, and I'm finally glad that she's found her real passion that she loves doing.
That's great. So if you guys are in the market for some cookies, she does custom
sugar cookies.
God, just the talent in her little artwork that she does on the design work on them. I'm like, how do you do that? First of all,
yeah, it's got way more talent to do that than I would.
Yeah.
They would look like a 5-year-old did them if I tried to do them.
Right. So, Russ, whenever you're on the road, up and down the road, what's your go-to snack? You spend a lot of time driving to and from the track. Are you give me some Skittles or?
Probably, I like Dots pretzels.
Dude, those are the bomb. Corey Kelly actually got me hooked on them.
And Matt Carr's mom.
Yeah.
Brought him to the track one night, and I had some, and then they started popping up in the gas stations around where I'm at. So,
have you had the Fiesta ones, the blue package ones?
Yeah, those are.
Man.
Yeah, they're pretty good too.
God, dog, that is a good snack.
I prefer the original, but the blue bags, it's all right.
Are you a big soda drinker, or are you like a Monster a day like Frank? Are you a water? Or
I like Pepsi or Mountain Dew, or I like some lemonade. You guys have a lemonade out here that we don't have. It's just the brand we don't seem to have at home. It's like a strawberry lemonade that I really like. So when I get down here, I get a few of them.
All right. Get stocked up and ready to rock. Are you an early morning guy to get to the shop? Or are you like, yeah, I'll be there by 11, 12?
No, I'm normally there by 8:39. Kind of in between. I'm not much of a morning person. You can ask Ashley or Frank or Matt.
Right.
I'm not much of a morning person, but I'll stay up late and work as long as I need to.
What's your go-to meal? Like your favorite meal whenever you get to Oklahoma that you don't have back home?
Canes.
Canes?
Hands down.
Hands down, some Canes.
And luckily we're getting one in Lafayette, and my wife loves Canes too. She called me my first time I got out here, when I got out here this last week, and she said, you got to go to Canes as soon as you get there. So we went and got Frank and Matt. I made them go with me and get that. So But we're getting one back at home, so then I guess I'll have to find something else.
Something else. Whenever it's like a home cooked meal that you're having a nice dinner or something like that, like what's something that is Sydney the cook? Are you the cook, or are you more of like a ramen guy or a?
I cook stuff on the grill.
You're a big grill guy?
Yeah, I got a pellet grill and I got that, and after I did that, I've been cooking steaks and chicken and some potatoes and stuff like that. But anything else, not me. That's all Sydney. I don't mess with any of that other stuff.
Yeah, none of the other stuff. So, what's your favorite? Are you like a good chicken breast, or you like a good steak?
I'd rather have a good steak.
Good steak.
I'd rather cook my own steak than have a steak from a restaurant anymore.
Really?
Yep.
And how do you like your steak cooked?
I get it either medium or medium well at restaurants.
I'm a big medium fan.
Yeah, I'd rather it. You get any more than that, it's just like leather.
So you've been racing quite a while here, Russ, and I mean, are you a big cartoon fan? You like Frozen or?
No.
You're not a
don't even bring that up.
Don't even bring it up?
Nope.
All right, we won't bring that up. Ask me off camera about it, guys. It's hilarious. Anyways, so you've been in the racing game a while. You've had some experiences. You've had some things that probably made you shake your head and go, why am I doing this?
Yep.
In closing, if you had to give a piece of advice that maybe somebody's given you or something that you have learned yourself, your own lesson about racing, what would that piece of advice be?
And going to big shows, everybody gets nervous. I still get nervous. I can even see it when, I park next to Frank a lot, and you can see that he's nervous. And it's just try to take it as it's just another race. You're going to be able to get your car fixed. If you tear it up or something, you can just fix it. We'll get it fixed. As long as you don't get hurt, you can always just move on to the next day and just try to do that instead of worrying about what happened the day before.
Right. Always focus at the task at hand.
Yep.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Russ Disinger on Haas Talks.
Performance Electronics, custom electronic solutions. From design to manufacturing, let us put your ideas in motion and become your company's full-service electronics manufacturing experts. Performance Electronics.